nailed it 11:30 p.m. on Saturday night. The reason why I said that because last year I had to get myself ready for today's episode of my Oscar picks. I went back and watched last year's episode, and it was on Sunday, and I said, bam, 2:30 p.m. on the dot. Well, bam, 11:30 p.m. on the dot here. It's March 1st. It is the first day of meteorological spring. It is also Dylan Knows' brand new special episode, Oscar picks, the shadow of Oscars. I do this every year with varying success. Last year, in 2024, I did 18-5 was my record, which is 2023, I did 13-10. So we'll see what happens here. This year is going to be a lot harder than last year because there's not as many dead certs. 2024 was a weird year anyway when it comes to film, due to having issues with COVID, the strikes, stuff getting moved back, and so on and so forth. And then on top of that, we had all the issues that came out with Amelia Perez and The Brutalist, which has they were starting off as the hot ticket items, and they've now slowly gone away. And we've got Nora and Conclave now are the two hot tickets. So it's really going to be hard to say. I think this year's Oscars is going to be one of the most diverse in range, when not one movie is going to like take over the wins. And I think that almost every one of the Best Picture nominations, with the exception of one or two of them, are not going to get, are going to get some kind of Oscar. And I'll tell you what, Best Picture and Best Actress were the two hardest ones for me. And luckily, I found a guy who worked for Deadline, I think Peter Hammonds was his name, who gave some good insight. I didn't follow him exactly, but we did line up with everything. And when he gave his predictions, he gave me some background that I might not know about what has won what awards and what has the hot streak. And he's a Hollywood insider. So using that and some of my own knowledge and stuff I unpicked myself, I got my 23 choices right here. Here's my Oscar ballot right here. This will be the last year for 23 awards. Next year, we will get our first new award in forever. We're going to get Best Ensemble. So that should be kind of interesting. I'll talk about that when we get to it. So I think I already picked out who that's going to be, but we'll see. 2025 is still not that interesting of a year yet, but we got a lot of stuff still coming down the line, and we will see what's happening. So here we are. We made it to March. Yippee. So without further ado, one of my favorite shows of the year, Dylan Knows, is 2025 Oscar picks. I know that's Santa Claus, or rather Nutcracker, but I don't have an Oscar, unfortunately. All right. I guess I'll just start from the bottom up. That makes the most sense. I used to do where I would give you, like they do at the Oscars, like my best. I still probably will. All right, let's just go random then, just like they do with the Oscars. As you can feel, my voice is a little bit better this time around, but there's still some bullshit around there. Also, real quick, my regular episode of Dylan Knows will be tomorrow, probably 1 o'clock p.m. In the afternoon, where we'll talk about the big deaths that happened this week and other big events that went on this week. So without further ado, just like the Oscars, let's start with Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Your nominees were Monica Barbaro for Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. The winner in a dead cert, because she's won every other award so far, Zoe Saldana is the going to be the winner of the Oscar. Best actor in a support. The nominees are Yura Borazov for Nora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. Again, this one's a dead cert. He's won every single award. This leads me to believe he is going to win this one as well, and he absolutely deserves it. It's about freaking time. Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain is going to win this one, the first Culkin to win an Oscar, and I've always said is the better actor. But I got to give Macaulay credit. He's been getting his life together, and he's starting to get a little bit better. But Kieran is the one who is the biggest star of that family right now, and this Oscar is going to just cement that for him. Next up, Best Visual Effects. The nominees are Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. The winner of that one is probably going to be Dune Part 2, because Dune Part 1 won for visual effects 2 years ago, so it would make sense for it to win again this year. Best Original Score. The nominees are The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. The one that's been getting the most buzz right now is The Brutalist, so I'm going with The Brutalist in this one as well. So hopefully that'll be a good one as well. Next up, let's see, where should we go to? Best Sound. The nominees are A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. I think the winner of that one is going to be A Complete Unknown, just because of the Bob Dylan and the music and the musician stuff and all that stuff like that. That's just my prediction. As I said, I have never gone 23-0, so I doubt I will do it again this year. But I still think that's a pretty good pick if you want. The nominees for Best Animated Short are Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and Yuck. This one I had to lean on Peter Herman's because he has done all the research on it. He picked Yuck, but he also did also suggest Wander to Wonder may also be a dark horse in this one, but he picked Yuck. But basically saying Yuck or Wander to Wonder are going to probably be the two that are the ones you're going to want to look out for. So do with that what you will. Best Production Design. The nominees are The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. When I originally saw this, I was going to jump right on Nosferatu, but I think Nosferatu is going to get locked out this year. Hollywood doesn't tend to do very well with horror, doesn't do that very well, despite Robert Eggers doing a phenomenal job of it. But when you have a movie like Wicked, which is set on based on a Broadway play, which has amazing sets, and you're able to transpose the sets to film and even make it better because you have more space, more time, and more money, I think Wicked wins this one pretty easily because of the fantasy aspects of it. As I said, Nosferatu might have been a good choice as well, but I don't think it's going to get that well. Dune Part 2 doesn't really have a lot going for it. And Conclave and The Brutalist are both, they're fine, but nothing quite like Wicked. So I'd go with Wicked on this one. Best Documentary Feature. The nominees are Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. again, had to lean on Peter Hammonds on this one, and he dropped a really interesting bit of info, and I think this is going to be very reasonable. And hello there, Pepper, up there around my shoulder over here. I believe Porcelain War is going to win this one because it is about the war in Ukraine and how it's affecting people. And after the absolutely abysmal display by our shitty people who are claiming to run the country, but are a bunch of pieces of crap, bullshit, shitheads, pieces of crap, asshole, fuck faces. Ukraine is a big deal and has been for a few years now. So I think Porcelain War is probably a dead cert to win this one because then it'll give a chance for the winner to make a statement about Slava Ukraine, stuff like that. Now, obviously, the votes have already been tabulated. So what happened yesterday in the Oval Office is not going to affect it because they've already voted on it. But the Ukraine war has been going on for a while. And when voting did happen back in January, there was a lot of shit going on with that. So I think Porcelain War is probably a really good choice. I don't know much about all the other ones, but that was thank you to Peter Hammonds on that. Now let's not go there yet. Since we did documentary feature, let's do documentary short. The nominees are Death by Numbers, I Am Ready Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra. A lot of people are, again, Peter Hammonds is thinking that The Only Girl in the Orchestra has a good shot of winning this one as well. So I think that's a good choice. These documentary shorts, live action shorts, and documentary features are a tough one for me because I'm never going to see those and they never show up in my area. And even if they did, I don't know if I'd be interested enough to go see them. So that's why I'm okay with taking advice from other people and seeing what other people are saying. So I think that's a good one. Piggybacked onto that, best live action short, the nominees are A. Lien, Anuja, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. Again, Peter Hammonds just basically said The Last Ranger should be pretty good. It's about a girl who is discovering poaching in Africa and how she's trying to stop it, which is a big deal. So I think that's a good choice as well. Best costume design. The nominees are Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. Come on, y'all. Really? You think anything's beating Wicked? If anything, maybe Nosferatu. But in this case, Wicked has got this one in the bag, son. Wicked for best costume design. Best original song. The nominees are El Mal from Emilia Perez, The Journey, The 688, Like a Bird, Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Emilia Perez, and Never Too Late, Elton John, Never Too Late. This is the one Emilia Perez is going to win, besides the Zoe Saldana one. El Mal is the one that's been getting all the buzz and all the people talking about it. And so we are going to be getting that as a winner. So El Mal for Emilia Perez is going to be the best original song of the year. I guess we got to give you another couple of big ones. Next up, best original screenplay. The nominees are Anora, A Real Pain, The Brutalist, September 5th, and The Substance. In this case, I think Anora is going to win this one, even though A Real Pain has been showing some legs. I don't think The Brutalist or September 5th or The Substance, though The Substance is original, I don't think it's going to make it in there. I think Anora's got this one in the bag, but A Real Pain could be the dark horse in that one. So those are the two I would pick on, but my choice is Anora. I think Anora's going to have a little bit of a slight edge with some of their wins and might win the most Oscars, but I don't think it's going to be overwhelmingly huge wins, and this is probably one of them for that. Best Adapted Screenplay, the nominees are Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. Nickel Boys been getting a little bit of buzz, but I think Conclave has come on really strong lately, and it is a very rat-a-tat-tat conversationalist thing, and that's what you want to get from Best Adapted Screenplay. So Conclave is going to win that one, in my opinion. Next up, Best Makeup and Hairstyling. The nominees are A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. Now, you'd think maybe that Wicked would be the dead cert for this one due to Cynthia Erivo's green skin for that. But I think The Substance is a well-liked but maybe not well-regarded film. And I think they want to give a little bit of credit to it, and the fact that it is sort of this body horror sort of thing where you see Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley sort of go through different formations of different makeup and hairstyling and creepy stuff. I think The Substance overtakes Wicked in this one and Nosferatu, which is another close one also. It's going to be one of those three, I believe. But I think The Substance has probably got the leg up slightly on that. Not by much, but it does. All right. Have I done everything on this side except for Best Editing? But I'll do that in a little bit. Photography. All right. Best International Feature. The nominees are Amelia Perez, Flow, The Girl with the Needle, I'm Still Here, The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Peter Hammonds believes that Amelia Perez is going to win this one pretty easily. I'm disagreeing with him on this one. I think I'm Still Here is going to get the win in this one. And one of the reasons why I'm doing that is because over the last, I guess 5 to 7 years, there's been at least 2 Oscars where the best international feature also won Best Picture. And again, I'm Still Here has gotten nominated for both. And I find that a little off-putting. If you win Best International Feature, you shouldn't win Best Picture. But maybe I'm wrong on that. That's just my opinion. I think other people disagree with me on that. However, I think in this case, I'm Still Here could be a dark horse when it comes to Best Picture, because right now it was a 4-person race and now it's back down to a 2-person race. But I'm Still Here could be one of those things that could gum up the works a little bit. And as I said, and this has been more recent, it hasn't happened until more recently, where the Best International Feature has also won Best Picture. And this very well could be the case again, where I'm Still Here squeaks in. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, but I think it definitely should win International Feature. I think the hate for Amelia Perez is just way too much right now that I don't see it coming. However, Peter Hammonds believes Amelia Perez is probably going to win this one, and it's very well possibly could be the case as well, to give it hey, we'll give you this instead of giving you Best Picture to appease people. I'm not sure. We'll see. I have a feeling that I'm Still Here is pulling the upset over Amelia Perez, though most people are going Amelia Perez. So you'll be fine with either of those. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not hurting anybody except myself. And even then, it's not really hurting that much. Best Animated Feature. The nominees are Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. I really wanted the Wild Robot to win. I didn't really want Inside Out 2 to win, but I really wanted the Wild Robot to win. But then when Flow was nominated and I saw Flow and I saw how gorgeous it is, how beautiful it is, and how a amazing animated feature should be, a movie without any dialogue or singing, just animals being animals trying to survive in a apocalyptic world. It is a stunningly gorgeous film, and I think that it deserves to win. So I'm picking Flow over Wild Robot, though I think Wild Robot has a good shot of coming in here as well. But I think Flow has got this one in the bag. It should. It's an absolutely stunning movie. If you've got an hour and a half, go to Prime and check out Flow, and you can see for yourself. It's such a great film. If you're an animal lover, you'll love it. It gets a little weird near the end, but it's a really good film, though. And it got nominated for Best International Feature as well. So I think it has a good shot of winning Animated Feature, too. All right, how many I got left? I got 1, 2, and then the big ones, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 left. All right. We'll finish off this page right here. Now, Peter Hammond's is basically said in his picks that the winner of Best Editing, since they're all Best Picture nominees, is probably going to win Best Picture. We will see if that is true. I am not picking it like that because my Best Editing is not who I have winning Best Picture. So you pretty much already going to have who I'm going for with Best Picture probably, but this one, they say watch Best Editing, whoever wins that one. Peter Ham's almost basically saying put a bet down to bet that whoever wins Best Editing is going to win Best Picture. So we'll write that down in the book and we'll figure it out. But the nominees for Best Editing are Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. I'm picking Anora for Best Editing. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, but it is a close race, and we'll talk about that when we get closer to that. But I think Anora might have a little bit of an edge over Conclave. Wicked, I don't think is going to get as many awards as people think. I think they're basically going to roll that like Lord of the Rings because Wicked still has a part 2 coming out later this year. I think Wicked part 2 is going to be nominated for a shit ton of awards, and I think it's going to win a lot more at next year's Oscars. It's still way too early to pick on that, but I think that's what you're going to see a lot of when it comes to Wicked. So we'll see about that. But yeah, so there we go. Best Editing, I believe, will be Anora. Best Cinematography, the nominees are The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. I think The Brutalist should win this one. Again, was the front runner for the longest time, and then it wasn't because of a variety of different reasons. But that being said, I think that the cinematography, they say, is old school, sort of 1970s, 1960s epic movies. And that is always kind of great when you get to a cinematography aspect. And the fact that Anora was not nominated, neither was Conclave, is kind of telling as well. But I think The Brutalist has got this one in the bag. Sorry, Nosferatu, but I think that's just the case. All right. Now we're down to the big 4. Ladies first, Best Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. This one is tough. This one was one of the 2 toughest that I had to choose from. On one end, I think every one of these actresses is, I guess, good to win that. Cynthia is, I didn't see Amelia Perez, but all of the backlash on it is kind of surrounding Carla Sofia Gascon, so she might not be the one who deserves it the most, but at least she's up there for it. Mikey Madison has gotten a lot of buzz lately with some of her late award wins. Fernando Torres's I'm Still Here has been getting a lot of love also recently too, but even though it is a horror film, I think Demi Moore, just her name and her presence and the fact that this is probably her best performance in a while. She probably should have gotten one for G.I. Jane, which she didn't, which is a shame. And I think Hollywood likes to take care of their veterans sometimes, unlike the current White House, but that's besides the point. So I think Demi Moore squeaks this one by Mikey Madsen or Fernando Torres, who I believe are the front runners. Again, as I said, Cynthia Erivo was fantastic in Wicked, but I think she has a better shot next year, or not in the Oscars next year, later on this year when Wicked Part 2 comes out, because I think the Academy is looking at Wicked Part 1 and Part 2 as one movie, much as they did with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So that's why the Lord of the Rings trilogy got barely any nominations in the first two films, and then just had a record number in their for the last film, Return of the King, and it won most of them. So I'm thinking the same thing's going to happen with Wicked. Cynthia Erivo will not win this year, but she should be considered, at least for now, the hands-on winner for next year. Obviously, we don't know what else is coming down the pike this year, and there could be someone else who pops up here, but I think you're going to see a lot more love for Cynthia Erivo in this upcoming Oscars year. That'll be debuting next year in 2026 once Wicked Part 2 comes out. So fans of Cynthia Erivo, it's going to suck, yes, but she should be right now the one who should be at the top of the charts of winning it next year. But right now, I think Demi Moore, because of her Hollywood credentials, her her presence, and it is a damn good performance. And she's won the majority of the awards, with a few others going to Mikey Madsen and Fernando Torres, but she's won the majority of them. I think she wins this one hands down as well. Best Actor in a Leading Role, the winners, the nominees are Adrien Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Colman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. I think Sebastian Stan got nominated for the wrong film, and he ain't going to even whiff the Oscar, but I think it was great that he got nominated, and he can use it as a springboard to do some other stuff because he is a pretty good actor when it comes to that. Ralph Fiennes has been getting a lot of really good buzz for Conclave, but it's just one of those things that it's not it's not enough to pull out the victory. Colman Domingo deserves to win one of these days. I just don't think it's going to be for Sing Sing. Timothée Chalamet has been coming on recently for his Bob Dylan for A Complete Unknown, but Adrien Brody's been the one that's won the majority of the awards over award season. So it honestly doesn't look like it's going to be any different now. He wins his second Oscar. So Adrien Brody for The Brutalist. Best Director, the nominees are Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez, Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, Coralie Fargeat for The Substance, and James Mangold for Complete Unknown. Sean Baker has won the DGA, which is a huge sign about who's going to win Best Director. Brady Corbett was a frontrunner for a while, but due to some issues he's been having recently, his use of AI when he didn't need to use it, and other stuff, I think, is sort of dropping him out, though he might be someone you might want to keep an eye on. The fact that John M. Chu was not nominated for Wicked is a disgrace, but I digress. I believe he will be nominated again next year and should be the front runner next year as well, with Wicked Part 2 coming out later this year. So I think Sean Baker for Anora has been winning a lot lately. I think he's got this one in the bag. I don't see anyone else really making a run for it. And that's that. So we're down to the finals. Got this in before midnight. I got in before 30 minutes. By the time over, it'll be past midnight and it'll be past 30 minutes. But the Best Picture nominees for the 2025 Oscars are Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. As I said earlier, early on, the top ones were Amelia Perez and The Brutalist. Then stuff happened to them, and they got knocked out of the way. I'm Still Here is still kind of quietly just sort of crouching there. It's hiding and has a potential to jump out and be a dark horse winner. Again, I think Wicked is going to be lavished with award nominations next year and is going to win a bunch of them next year. Don't know about Best Picture, but I think it's going to be nominated again, and I think it has the potential to win a Best Picture, even though we don't know what else is coming out later this year. But as of now, it should be one of the front runners also. We'll get numbers. So it's not going to win for this one, but it could very well win for next year. The Substance, again, they're not going to go with horror as a Best Picture. They never will. They never have. They never will. Nickel Boys is one that just sort of appeared, but I don't think it has enough buzz to get it going. Dune Part 2, Dune Part 1 did not win Best Picture. It got nominated, so they did the same thing here. It isn't going to win either. And as I said, and The Complete Unknown, again, probably not going to get anything. It's a two-person race between Anora and Conclave, with The Brutalist and Amelia Perez sort of sticking back there, and I'm Still Here lurking. But as you already know, I already said Anora is not going to be my pick for Best Picture, so that only leaves one film. I believe Conclave is going to win Best Picture. I will not be surprised if Anora wins. I will not be surprised if The Brutalist wins. I will not even be surprised if Amelia Perez wins. I will not be surprised if I'm Still Here wins also. If anything else other than those four wins, it's going to be a surprise. But I truly believe Conclave is going to win. But watch out for Anora. Watch out for I'm Still Here. I think Amelia Perez and The Brutalist are done in this race. But you never know. So that's it. Real quick, the 2025 Oscar ballot. Best Picture, Conclave. Best Director, Sean Baker, Anora. Best Actress, Demi Moore for The Substance. Best Actor, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Best Actress in Supporting Role, Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. Best Actor in Supporting Role, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Best Original Screenplay, Anora. Best Adapted Screenplay, Conclave. Best International Feature, I'm Still Here. Best Animated Feature, Flow. Best Documentary Feature, Porcelain War. Best Original Score, The Brutalist. Best Original Song, El Mal. Best Cinematography, The Brutalist. Best Costume Design, Wicked. Best Editing, Anora. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, The Substance. Best Production Design, Wicked. Best Sound, A Complete Unknown. Best Visual Effects, Dune Part 2. Best Animated Short, Yuck! Best Live Action Short, The Last Ranger. And the Best Documentary Short, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. Those are the picks, my picks. We'll see if I'm an 18-5 guy or a 13-10 guy. I think I'm going to do pretty good. I don't think I'm winning 18 this year, but I think I'm winning more than 13. I think I'm going to be in the 15 to 8 range. So I won't be surprised if I'm 15-8. I'm calling it right now. I think 15-8 is going to be a good window for me, but we'll see. So that's it. It starts at 7 p.m. on Sunday. It is now officially Sunday, March 2nd. So the Oscars will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC, I think. You'll be able to find it. It's going to be all over the place. Go ahead, print out your own ballots, make your own picks. Watch the show. Conan O'Brien's hosting. They are going back to the showing clips from the Best Pictures and the Best Actors, instead of having the supporting actors and actors come out and talk about the nominees. It was nice for 1 year, but I think you just need to move this along and showing clips because it's a movie award show about movies. You don't want to have people standing around talking. You want to show movie clips. Again, the last year for 23 awards. Next year, we get Best Ensemble. With Wicked Part 2 could very well win that one, but we shall see what happens. That could also open the door for other movies that might not make Best Picture, but might make Best Ensemble. I think if we had to choose Best Ensemble this year, I think Conclave wins that one as well, but we shall see. Right now, we will not be doing Best Ensemble. That would be next year. So that's it. 23 out of 23 picks are done. Now we wait. So about 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, about 19 hours from now, the Oscars will start. And in about 3 to 4 hours after that, we will know who the winners are. I will be announcing the winners and my record on next week's episode of Dylan Knows on the 8th or 9th, whenever I decide to do my show. So we'll have the winners then, because tomorrow, or later today, I should say, in about 12 hours probably, I will be doing my regular episode of Dylan Knows, talking about the week in pop culture and the multitude of deaths we had this week. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the Oscars. Hopefully this will be posted in time for people to look at before the Oscars itself. And we will see you here in about 12 hours for a new episode of Dylan Knows. Thanks for watching.